From a rapper executed at point-blank range while laughing with friends, to a packed concert crowd screaming for help as bodies dropped, these are rapper live streams that ended in disaster. July 8, 2021, a young rapper sits in his car, laughing with a friend on Instagram Live. Within seconds, everything changes. Multiple gunshots shatter the moment, and thousands of viewers watch as 21-year-old Zorail Rivera, known as Indian Red Boy, takes his final breaths on camera.
Damn about that, fool. What the f?
The horror of what just happened spreads across social media like wildfire. That afternoon in Hawthorne, California, what started as a casual conversation between friends became one of the most disturbing live streams ever recorded. Rivera was sitting in the driver's seat of his car, parked in an apartment carport on Chadron Avenue, completely unaware that someone was approaching. Police received the call at 4:10 p.m. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Rivera slumped over in the front seat, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Despite the desperate pleas for help captured on the live stream, he was already gone by the time emergency responders arrived.
See Hawthorne PD, they are wrapping up their investigation. They're still taking some photographs. We watched the coroner just wheel the body away. It is a male in his 20s that was shot and killed. Inside this car, there are a lot of bullet holes inside that windshield. We zoomed in earlier.
The investigation revealed just how targeted this attack was. Hawthorne Police Lieutenant Ty Goetz didn't mince words when describing what happened. The shooter had walked right up to Rivera's car window and opened fire at point-blank range. The windshield told the story, riddled with so many bullet holes that investigators knew immediately this wasn't random violence. This was an execution. The person Rivera was talking to during the live stream was fellow social media influencer Capone. He witnessed everything unfold in real time, powerless to help as his friend was murdered. Hours after the shooting, Capone posted tributes on Instagram, writing,
"Indian Red, I love you, gang."
One post showed video of Rivera throwing up gang signs, a detail that wouldn't escape investigators' attention. Rivera's family painted a picture of someone far more complex than the persona he projected online. His Aunt Jasmine remembered him as a fun-loving kid who made everyone laugh, someone who loved basketball at Jordan High School, collected shoes, and put hot sauce on everything. He had dreams of making it in music, and one day at a local studio with friends, he finally got his shot when someone agreed to let him record. But tragedy had already shaped Rivera's life. When his mother, Shawana, died, everything changed. At just 21, he found himself helping to raise his 4 younger brothers. His mom had been his best friend, and losing her left a hole that never quite filled. His aunt noticed he wasn't the same afterward. He came back to his family more, seeking the comfort and connection his mother had provided. But he also sought something else in the streets.
Man, this right here is a travesty, man. This is tragic to watch young black life be lost like this. But seeing these kids do so much on these Instagram lives and to giving up their location where people are spotting where they are and identifying where they are, and where a happy moment turns into a tragic moment.
The video of Rivera's murder became impossible to contain. Despite social media companies scrambling to remove it, copies circulated everywhere. Those who saw it described hearing at least 12 gunshots fired at close range, watching Rivera struggle to speak, gasping for breath as his life slipped away. The internet was left shaken. One viewer captured the horror perfectly, writing that 1 minute Rivera was laughing it up, and the next he was begging for help. At the crime scene, investigators worked through the night while Rivera's family gathered nearby, overcome with grief. The emotional weight of the moment was palpable. Police had to set up a skirmish line to manage the large crowd that had gathered, many of them young people who'd followed Rivera on social media, now confronting the brutal reality of his death.
He had there was a bullet shot on the driver's side. The paramedics tried to do CPR on the guy, but it seems like he was just dead at the scene.
Speculation about the motive started almost immediately. Some reports suggested the shooting might have been retaliation related to a Nipsey Hussle tribute mural that had been vandalized. Others pointed to Rivera's gang affiliations. Lieutenant Goetz confirmed to reporters that Rivera appeared to be a gang member and that this violence might have been connected to that lifestyle. The tragedy highlighted a dangerous reality about social media and street life. By broadcasting his location in real time on Instagram Live, Rivera had inadvertently made himself an easy target. What should have been a happy moment, just friends joking around, turned fatal because someone knew exactly where to find him. Rivera's family struggled to make sense of it all. His aunt remembered him helping elderly folks with their groceries and yard work, attending church, being a mentor to his younger brothers after their mother's death. How did that person end up gasping for breath on camera as thousands watched helplessly?
And for him to watch this tragedy, it affects this kid mentally. And the other thing is the family has to kind of be consoled over the loss of this kid's life. This other kid at the bottom of the screen is going to have to go through some sort of therapy of his own, because this ain't nothing that's just going to, that this kid can act like he's strong enough to get through. It affects him mentally.
The investigation remained active, but as weeks turned to months, no arrests were announced. Police reviewed security footage from the area, interviewed witnesses, and followed leads. But the shooter or shooters who walked up to Rivera's car that July afternoon remained at large. The Hawthorne Police Department could only ask that anyone with information come forward. But the chaos didn't stop there. Another rapper would soon find himself staring down gunfire while thousands watched live. November 5th, 2020, Alabama rapper Honeycomb Brazy walked out of prison after serving 18 months, ready to make up for lost time. Just 16 days later, he'd be fighting for his life on camera.
Hey, it feel good to be home though. You know, I've been locked up forever. I'm back now though, man. I'm popping though. I'm popping shit like crowd on God.
That day started normal. Haircuts at the barbershop in Montgomery. Nothing out of the ordinary. Brazy went live on Instagram, showing off a Kobe Bryant jersey, vibing with his crew. Just another day back in the streets.
Honeycomb Brazy was good.
Man, you already know, man. I'm just bullying, man. You know how I'm rocking. We're good.
Man, you all over the internet right now, man. Every blog I go to, every month on YouTube, all the bloggers talking about you, man. How does it feel to be home?
Then everything changed in an instant.
Hey, it feel good to be home though. You know, I've been locked up. I'm back now though, man. I'm popping shit though. I'm popping shit like firecrackers on God.
Security footage captured the full chaos from above. What started as a struggle near a parked car turned into a full-blown shootout. Bodies hit the ground. Gunfire echoed through the street. People scrambled for cover as bullets tore through the air. And the shooting continued as people repositioned, running between cars, trying to survive. When the smoke cleared and Brazy sat down for an interview, what he said next caught everyone off guard. The interviewer asked if he'd seen the shooter coming.
And you know, I could tell you was just vibing, and then you look up and you see the who was about to let it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see the gun. I ain't see him.
His response revealed just how desensitized he'd become.
Man, what's going through your mind when that happening?
You know, I'd have been shot 8 times before. I already got shot in the head, so you know what was going through my mind. Yeah.
For Brazy, this was just another Tuesday. The interview turned to whether he'd change his social media habits after nearly dying on Instagram Live. His answer was defiant.
Well, you know it's a dangerous game playing with the IG Live, man, because all people got to see is the background location and they trying to pull up. You know, people are doing anything for clout.
Yeah, you right about that. I do need to chill out with that. I do need to do that because, you know, it real smoke. Yeah, it's more shit going on.
Later that same night, Brazy went live again from a backyard, showing off the bullet-riddled car. His younger brother stood beside him. the same brother who was battling cancer. The disrespect of it all had him heated.
Brother got cancer. My little brother out here fight. It's on your head, man. This shit for real. My little brother fighting cancer out there whole. I got my little brother with me fighting cancer. Y'all gonna play with me while my little brother with me fighting cancer? Did you?
Brazy explained how they'd been targeted, how his enemies thought they were vulnerable, caught slipping, but they survived against all odds.
Yeah, we supposed to be dead. We supposed to be dead, home. Like, I don't respect that.
I just think about, I know for a fact. Look in that bitch. He vampire like this. Ain't no friendly shit. Oh, that nigga vampire like this. Yeah, he was tripping anyway. He bored out, he walked just like this. He looked in the Jeep.
The interviewer pressed him on whether he was just immune to danger at this point. Brazy's response was blunt.
Yeah, I don't give a f. Like, I don't give a f. Like, for real. I don't give a f. I ain't never gave a f. Say.
That mentality, that refusal to back down, would have consequences far beyond that November shooting. Just 3 months later, February 2021, his grandparents, Tony and Layla Lewis, were killed in their mobile home. Investigators found they'd been shot multiple times before 5 oxygen tanks exploded, starting a massive fire that destroyed the house. Detective Julius Nettles revealed in court that the murder was retaliation over a Facebook post from another rapper connected to Brazy. Since they couldn't get to Brazy, they went after whoever they could reach. Brazy posted to Instagram afterward, acknowledging the brutal truth. His grandparents got caught up in his street beef. The thing they'd always told him, that if it's your time, had come true in the worst possible way. But even that tragedy didn't slow down the violence. By June 2021, Brazy was back in jail on probation violations, and shooters targeted his mother's home. Not once, not twice, 4 separate times. Tenisha Jones had to abandon her own house, living in fear that the next bullet had her name on it. Brazy survived the bullets and the chaos, but the streets weren't done yet. Just months later, Duke Deuce went live, and what happened next shocked everyone watching. Memphis rapper Duke Deuce thought he was just going live with his fans. What happened next captured one of the most harrowing moments in live streaming history.
I ain't on none of that bullshit, none of that Hollywood shit.
September 13th, 2021. The Crunk Ain't Dead rapper was streaming from his hometown, talking directly to his followers with that signature confidence. Duke was keeping it real with his audience, calling out to the streets.
Pepper tree was popping.
The 29-year-old, born Patavius Lashon Isam, made his intentions crystal clear.
Come outside and with me, Pepper tree.
He was representing where he came from, keeping it genuine for the people watching. The pepper tree he referenced was likely the Pepper Tree Apartments complex, an area that had seen violence escalate throughout the summer. Had been shot there just months earlier, with an adult critically wounded in the same incident. Then everything changed in an instant.
We ain't on none of that bull, none of that Hollywood.
The casual vibe shattered as gunfire erupted around him. Duke's expression shifted from confident to shocked as the first shots rang out. His instincts kicked in immediately. The phone dropped as he scrambled for cover, the camera bouncing wildly while bullets continued to ring out. The shots weren't distant warning shots. They were close, multiple rounds tearing through the night air. His live feed captured every terrifying second as he ran for his life, the chaos and disorientation evident in the shaky footage. You could hear the urgency, the fear, the raw survival instinct taking over.
We ain't on none of that bull, none of that Hollywood.
The whole thing lasted about a minute. Viewers were witnessing something no one expected. A real-time shooting captured during what should have been a casual interaction with fans. After the stream cut, fans were left in the dark. Was he hit? Was he okay? The questions flooded social media as the footage began circulating. Thankfully, reports eventually confirmed Duke wasn't injured. But the footage spread like wildfire across platforms, becoming one of the most shocking live stream incidents in hip-hop history. But this was the reality check that came with that authenticity he valued so much. The streets he represented weren't just a backdrop for his music. They were unpredictable, dangerous, and unforgiving. Duke Deuce walked away from that live stream unscathed. But for some, the screen delivers news you never want to see. For the next rapper, a single notification would change everything. November 6th, 2020. Lil Durk was doing what thousands of rappers do every night, riding around with his crew, blasting music, vibing with fans on Instagram Live. The energy was electric, diamond chains catching the light, grills flashing as he rapped along to Pooh Shiesty's Back in Blood. Just another late-night session with the guys. But in the comments section, something was happening, something that would shatter everything.
Uber man just dropped, man. Hold on. Stay. Hey, turn this up.
Messages started flooding in. At first, just a trickle, then a wave. King Von got shot. Over and over, the words scrolling faster and faster across the screen as thousands of fans desperately tried to alert Durk to what was unfolding in Atlanta. Von, his childhood friend, his artist, his brother, was reportedly shot outside Monaco Hookah Lounge around 3:20 that morning. The contrast was jarring. While Durk was celebrating, spitting bars about street life and loyalty, his friend was fighting for his life 3 states away. The tragic irony of the moment hung heavy. Here was Durk rapping about violence and retaliation, completely unaware that his closest ally had just become another victim of that same violence. For several seconds, Durk kept performing. He was in his element, feeling the music, connecting with his fans. But you can see it in the footage. The moment he started to notice, his eyes kept drifting to the comment section. The messages weren't stopping. The stream ended abruptly. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. Because what do you say at that moment? How do you process learning that your childhood friend has been shot while thousands of strangers watch your reaction in real time? This was the nightmare of social media culture laid bare. In the old days, you'd get a phone call, a private moment to absorb the shock, to grieve, to figure out what was true. But Durk learned about Von's shooting the same way millions of fans did, through Instagram comments, unverified reports, rumors mixed with fragments of truth. No filter, no preparation. Just raw, unprocessed tragedy delivered through the cold blue glow of a screen. The relationship between Durk and Von went back to the streets of Chicago's O Block, the same neighborhood that shaped both their lives and their music. Durk had taken Von under his wing when the younger rapper was just starting out. In 2018, fresh off a 3.5-year prison bid, Von signed to Durk's Only the Family label. From there, Durk helped mold him, guided his career, brought him on tour, gave him features. They just collaborated on Von's debut album, Welcome to O Block, released barely a week before the shooting. Songs like Crazy Story 2.0 and All These showcased their chemistry, their shared history, their brotherhood. The album was Von's moment, proof that he'd finally made it, that all the struggle and pain had led somewhere. And now, just days after that triumph, Durk was learning his friend might not survive the night. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation would later confirm the details. An altercation outside the hookah lounge, gunfire, 6 men shot, 3 dead. King Von was one of them. The official statement tried to clarify that Von wasn't shot by police. He was hit during the initial shootout between 2 groups. He arrived at the hospital via private vehicle, already in critical condition. But on that Instagram Live, none of those details existed yet. There were only comments, speculation, fear, and Dirk, caught between the celebration of the moment and the horror of what might be happening hundreds of miles away. While Dirk processed news online, the deadly reality of a live crowd reminded the world how quickly things can spiral out of control. November 5th, 2021, 50,000 fans packed into Houston's NRG Park, waiting for Travis Scott to take the stage at his own Astroworld Festival. What should have been a celebration would have become one of the deadliest concert disasters in American history. The warning signs started hours before the headliner. Early that morning, fans began breaching security checkpoints, rushing past metal detectors and overwhelming staff. By afternoon, the festival coordinator was already watching unconscious bodies being crowd-surfed out of the pit. One by one, they looked like rag dolls.
From the moment the doors to Astroworld opened, there was chaos at NRG Park. At 2 p.m., a stampede of concertgoers exploded through security gates, with dozens being trampled in the process.
The chaos only intensified as the day wore on. Reese Wheeler, the festival coordinator monitoring from the command center, sent a text to the security manager just 1 minute before Travis Scott's set. "There's panic in people's eyes. This could get worse quickly." But the show went on. When Travis Scott finally appeared, the crowd compression became catastrophic. Fans found themselves unable to move, their feet planted in place. The pressure was immediate and terrifying.
It was just my rib cage was so squished that I couldn't expand my chest, expand my lungs to catch a breath.
The festival had been live streamed on Apple Music, and what happened next would be captured in horrifying detail. Just minutes into Scott's performance, the crush intensified. People began falling. Others couldn't breathe. Desperate voices cut through the music.
12 p.m., people in the crowd could be heard screaming for help.
Travis Scott paused briefly when he noticed someone in distress near the stage. He called for help, then continued performing. But the situation was rapidly spiraling out of control.
It was around that exact time when Travis Scott briefly paused the show after noticing an ambulance. Moments later, he asked fans to put a middle finger up to the sky if they were okay.
Everybody go put a middle finger up in the sky.
18-year-old Aiden Cruz climbed onto a camera platform, desperately trying to alert the production team to what was happening below.
Seconds after, a video was taken of 18-year-old Aiden Cruz trying to notify a camera operator of the dangers taking place in the pit.
For survivor Cynthia Lira, the experience was a waking nightmare.
20-year-old Cynthia Lira found herself at the bottom of a pile of people and felt she wasn't going to make it out alive.
At 9:38 p.m., Houston fire officials declared a mass casualty event. Concert promoter Live Nation agreed to cut the show short. But what happened next would become the most controversial aspect of the entire tragedy.
3 minutes later, security officials are seen running through the pit. At 9:42 p.m., Travis Scott pauses the concert midway through a song.
By now, sections of the crowd had begun chanting in unison. The situation had become dire. Security personnel were reporting casualties in real time.
As a member of the security team alerts the staff to multiple people without pulses.
And yet, at 9:54 p.m., Drake took the stage for a surprise appearance. The concert continued for another 20 minutes, finally ending at 10:13 p.m., more than half an hour after the mass casualty declaration.
8 people in the crowd died that night, their ages ranging from 14 to 27.
Days later, Travis Scott posted a video statement to Instagram.
I could just never imagine the severity of the situation.
The police investigation would reveal stunning details about what happened behind the scenes. According to 2 backstage engineers, Travis Scott's auto-tune operator had relayed a message through Scott's earpiece before Drake took the stage. A message stating that people had died. Scott's version of events contradicted this entirely. He claimed he never knew about the deaths until after the show ended. The crane operator, a 35-year veteran of live events, had radioed the production trailer at 9:25 p.m. with a desperate message. "There are dead bodies underneath the crane. People are getting hurt. Shut it down." It would be another 48 minutes before the show ended. Festival coordinator Reese Wheeler had texted his supervisor during the concert, "I would pull the plug, but that's just me. I know they'll try to fight through, but
I would want it on the record that I didn't advise this to continue. Someone's going to end up dead."
In June 2023, a grand jury declined to indict Travis Scott or any other individual on criminal charges. But the civil lawsuits continue. Families of the victims are still seeking answers about why the concert wasn't stopped earlier, why the warning signs were ignored, and why 50,000 fans were funneled toward a single stage with inadequate safety measures. The Astroworld tragedy exposed deep flaws in concert safety protocols. Live Nation, the event's promoter and the world's largest live events company, had already been connected to roughly 200 deaths and over 750 injuries in the 15 years before Astroworld. No new safety regulations were implemented by Houston or Harris County in the aftermath. Travis Scott broke his silence in a 2023 interview with GQ magazine, saying he was overly devastated and that he thinks about it constantly. He referenced the tragedy in a song called My Eyes, rapping about saving a child from the stage. But for many, the words ring hollow.